Well, good morning and welcome into the Real Monica Adams Show. It's the Positive Talk Time Day, so we're going to talk about the doggies in just a bit. Have you ever been to an Easter egg hunt for your dogs? It is such a blast. I remember when Tessa was just a puppy and we had her running all over the place. We haven't had Adelaide or Opus do that yet, so we need to do that. They're going to have one here with Yuppy Puppies Forever Rescue, Yuppy Puppy Pet Spa in Cottleville is where we are this morning. They also have a location in O'Fallon, so remember them for everything you need to know for your doggies. You want to get them groomed? This is the place to be. You want to go away for a weekend or for a vacation for maybe a week or weeks on end? They will take care of them for you right here at Yuppy Puppy Pet Spa. We're going to talk also about some trends that you should do with your dog and things you shouldn't do. And there's something coming up in Lake St. Louis that you and your followers may want to come out to, a peaceful protest as we try to shut down the aspect of shopping and the breeding for these dogs. We always ask you to adopt, don't shop. So we're going to be visiting with Jessica Cook, the owner of Yuppy Puppies Forever Rescue, coming up in just a bit. Okay, we're going to talk about the tornadoes, and there have been some that have been confirmed for our area. In fact, one fatal in Cape Girardeau and another one that a lot of people are seeing all over social media as they show videos from the Potosi area. So we'll talk about that in just a second. Unfortunately, we're not out of the woods because we have more headed our way this weekend. So for today, this afternoon, probably after lunchtime, you'll see that you're going to need the umbrella. So just grab it or have a rain jacket or something with you so you're not caught off guard. We do have some afternoon rain and then wrapping up into the evening. 63 for the high. Again, we're giving you the forecast for our immediate area. We're in St. Louis, Missouri. So Missouri, Illinois, if you are outside of our area, just hang tight. We've got things that have to do with news you can use for our entire world. Again, some first alert days coming for Friday and Saturday. And yesterday we talked with our aspiring meteorologist, Beckett Moore, about the amount of rain with a flooding aspect. He was saying maybe 5 inches. Well, now they've upped that number 8 inches to a foot. And they're worried right now about the Merrimack River, the St. Francis River, and the Kaskaskia River as well. So we'll be following all of that as we go into tomorrow and then into next week. But pretty much some rain ending by the time we get through Sunday. Monday and Tuesday are your pick days. So if you want to get out and enjoy some time outside, 58 and 59 for the high on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, we've got some rain chances coming back into play. Then we get into the following weekend. It looks gorgeous right now. Still a little ways out. So could we have rain on those days? Well, that's a possibility. One thing that we added to our show from a national standpoint is our ticker up above. And you will see as I go in and out of some world, national, and local news to keep an eye up here. And today I've got it focused on the stocks and financial aspect, because that is what is happening with reaction to the tariffs. And we mentioned that that was going to happen yesterday afternoon. We'll get into that for you in just a second. Let's stay with the weather theme. There was a woman that was thrown from her home when the storms hit the Metro East area. And if you or anyone you know was affected by the storms, please let us know how you're doing this morning. Let's talk about Greenville, Illinois. According to the firefighters, a woman was thrown when the storms hit there yesterday. Significant damage was seen near Greenville, as well as Madison County, a road closure, and a lot of people trying to pick up from those storms today. That's the Metro East area where we saw some of the worst damage. But then in the Potosi area, a tornado that was confirmed has left behind unbelievable damage. There was a viewer that sent a video in to First Alert 4, and they were saying what appeared to be a tornado on Highway 185 in the Potosi area. You could see the funnel cloud. The Missouri State Highway Patrol Troop C said the troopers reported a confirmed tornado that touched down about 6 miles just northwest of the Potosi area. So I was looking at some of their social media that they were posting from the troops headquarters. Just look at this devastation all throughout the area. And troopers had responded to that confirmed tornado approximately 6 miles northwest of Potosi. That was in Washington County. Several homes and structures completely damaged. Troopers and local first responders all saying they were accounted for. Minor injuries, 0 fatalities in that area. But as we mentioned, there was a fatality in Cape Girardeau, and there's still a lot to be picked up today. Damaged homes, power lines. Again, the Midwest and the South, there were are issues that happened in Arkansas, Blytheville, Arkansas, in Oklahoma as well. So when we talk about news you can use, check on your neighbors, check on the devastation that may have affected their area, and make sure that they're okay. In other national news today, President Trump announced the massive new Liberation Day tariffs. So how would they affect you? That's what a lot of people are asking. The president announced that the United States will hit back at any country that imposes trade barriers on American exports by subjecting them to sweeping reciprocal tariffs, an unprecedented move that threatens to upend the global economy, according to some experts. For the president, disruption appears to be the point. He said, and I quote, "My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day. For decades, our country's been looted, pillaged, raped, and plundered by nations near and far. Foreign leaders have stolen our jobs, foreign cheaters have ransacked our factories, and foreign scavengers have torn apart our once beautiful American dream." He went on to say, but it's not going to happen anymore. Reciprocal, that means that they do it to us and then we do it to them. Very simple. Can't get any simpler than that. So what happened? Trump has spent much of his second term teasing, delaying, triggering, and occasionally even retreating from big taxes on friends and foes alike. A 25% tariff on certain Canadian and Mexican imports here, 2 rounds of 10% tariffs on Chinese goods there. His 25% tax on imported cars and auto parts set to start today. Last month, he reinstated a 25% levy on imported steel and aluminum, even threatening to slap a 200% tariff on European alcohol. So a lot of people are reacting to this, and so is the stock market, of course, looking for here in the United States for it to open up and to see what happens. But we're looking right here that the US dollar falls versus the euro and holding gains after Trump announced the new tariff. So you'll see a lot of that on financial news throughout the day. In other news you can use this morning, Amazon putting in a last minute bid for TikTok. We continue to follow this. TikTok almost out of time to find a buyer again. Their future uncertain as a potential ban in the United States could be just days away. We'll continue to follow that. Again, we mentioned yesterday that Amazon was just one, so was Oracle. Well, there's a new general aviation facility coming to Mid-America St. Louis Airport. I've never been there. Have you flown out of there before? Let me know if you have. Come the end of 2025, the new facility will prepare for international commercial flights coming in and will add additional aircrafts. A new 25,000 square foot facility has been under construction at the airport in 2 phases to add international flights. The airport offers, by the way, nonstop flights year round or on a seasonal basis to destinations served by Allegiant, and that includes Orlando, Las Vegas, and a lot more. So when you're flying, you might want to remember them. All right, what's going on in our world today? Well, evidently it's World Party Day. That's according to Jessica. She heard that this morning. So let's party like a rock star. Get the doggies, get your kids, everybody partying together. It's also National Burrito Day. Yum. National Film Score Day. National Find a Rainbow Day. Well, heck, after all the rain, I think that'll be easy to do. National Chocolate Mousse Day. And this goes in line with what I've been doing for 15 years, helping guys look their best. It's National Tweed Day. So you want a nice sport coat designed? Well, check with our team. We can do that for you. How about the Blues? They're in action against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Game time is at 7 o'clock, and it is the Blues hosting them. They have now won 10 in a row, folks. They are on fire and trying to get that wild card spot. The Cardinals have announced new fan engagement initiative to bring a party atmosphere to Friday night home games. Every Friday home game in Budweiser Terrace, they will have live music or a DJ, $5 beers and margaritas, $5 hot dogs. They are trying to get people to come after what we saw the other day. I was telling you about the lowest attendance ever. They had like 21,000. That's it. So according to this release, the new initiative will start on Friday, April 11th. So not this Friday, but Friday, April 11th, when the Cardinals face the Phillies. So get ready to party. And then it is the Cardinals, by the way, in action. They will be playing today against the Red Sox. I'm sorry, is that tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow against the Red Sox. They're coming off, though, a huge game where they won 12-5. The Cards beat the Angels yesterday, 12-5. Now it's the Cards and the Red Sox tomorrow at 1:10, and then Saturday, the same 2 teams at 310. And that's how we do it for you. We get you all up to date in news you can use that sometimes might be local, regional, national, but it gets us all talking and brings us all together. It is 7:11. All right, we're going to take a quick break. The doggies are getting up. Jessica Cook, the owner of Yuppy Puppy Pet Spa in, again, Cottleville and O'Fallon, Missouri, will be joining me for a segment that we call Positive Talk Time. We've got a lot to talk about today, including getting your babies ready for a big Easter egg hunt. Stay tuned for that when we return.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
Carroll House has the furniture you're dreaming of.
For big family gatherings, for entertaining friends, or just hanging out.
For working from home or resting after work.
For kids growing up, or young adults moving out.
Whether you're updating your first home, your next home, or your dream home.
Whatever the reason you're shopping, we have the furniture you're dreaming of at Carroll House.
Because you like nice things.
Well, that sound right there, evidently, maybe we're not supposed to be doing with our dogs. I'll talk about that in just a second. All right, let's get into Positive Talk Time. First of all, good morning.
Good morning.
Jessica Cook, if you've never met her before, the owner of Yuppy Puppy Pet Spa, again, Cottleville and O'Fallon. Now, we've been texting back and forth, and I don't like hearing about this. Last time we were here, we showed a bunch of babies that we filmed. We showed their personality. Did you tell me that none of them have been adopted?
None of them have adopted.
Folks.
No application, no interest. We had 4 meet and greets, and it was a shutout. Nobody came, but which we chalk it up to maybe spring break, and it's got to be the right time. But yeah, it's a little disheartening because we have incoming dogs that we expected some to be on their way out. So now we're just adding to our.
So how many do you have now?
We will have 32.
Oh my gosh. We were talking about 24 last time, and they are again continuing to bring more in. Lisa just said, does Yuppy Puppies accept senior dogs too? What do you mean accept?
Oh, absolutely. Like senior dogs for boarding or grooming or the rescue. All of the above. All of the above.
Yeah, they're very big. I mean, we're talking puppies to seniors. They take care of them all. But all of these rescues are just overflowing because they need you. And if you can't, we understand not everybody can bring a dog in right now, but you at least can take the show and then share it. That's the greatest thing you can do. Share this show with everyone. Oh, she said from a rescue standpoint.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we actually love our seniors. A lot of our dogs usually are seniors because they come from senior human homes who are deceased and they had a senior dog, but the seniors have my heart because their whole world is upside down. And so
They're so confused.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, and let's talk about that. I was driving in this morning thinking about all the different scenarios that happen in life, and we just talked about the devastation about tornadoes and the spring storms and everything. Right now, babies get so scared they go bolting through their homes, which is the reason why they need to be chipped. They ideally would have collars on. You see a lot of them run away, don't you?
Absolutely. Anytime it's weather and 4th of July, even if you're like, my dog just goes potty in the front yard, they never run off. Times of fright, that's what they do. They flight and so by just keeping a leash on your dog during those times and getting them back inside, and always identification.
Yep. It's so very important. You don't want to be separated. I mean, obviously it's like your child. You would not want to be separated. If that happens, there's trying to find a way to get them back. Hats by Diane just said, I love Yuppy Puppies. Absolutely. If you're just tuning in, if you have any questions, I often have real estate clients or deceased parents that need to find a home for senior dogs and cats. Yes. So when that happens, what do you see in that senior when suddenly their whole world, meaning their mom or dad has passed away,
Mhm.
what happens and how do you get them to transition to understanding that they didn't leave them on purpose?
Right. It depends. They're all different. Some, come in and they're having a great time, and others you can see that their whole world's turned upside down. So, our facility and our rescue, we have more of the room type. So they're ideal for seniors. That's why we get a lot of calls from the other shelters saying, we have a senior dog, they're shutting down. Can you please take them into your rescue? Just because we're on the quieter end, we can do more personalized care. So that's important with these guys, getting fully vetted to make sure that, they're feeling okay. Because oftentimes we find the senior dogs that come from homes were deceased, the family was busy, the dog got overlooked. Maybe, they need to be on some medication. They need a full workover. So we do that. And then by talking with the family and figuring out, did grandkids come and visit? Did they also have dogs that visit or cats? So we really try to match those guys with the type of home that was very similar to their past home.
I heard a woman on the news with all the devastation that was happening in Greenville and Potosi and Cape Girardeau yesterday. She had to leave the area. First responders had actually blocked off them being able to get back in because there was so much damage. And she was so freaked out because her dog was inside of the home and she didn't know. Fortunately, the dog was okay, but she didn't know that. I mean, it's all the devastation that you're knowing you're going to start going through. And then you're wondering, is my dog okay? Where are the kids? I mean, everybody gets separated from that. It's the scariest thing to go through.
Yeah, and with farm animals too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like my horses have tags and we ride on them, and because that's the scariest thing is if the barn blows down, the fence goes. I want to find a way to thank God if they were safe and they're able to run, but I want to be able to claim them again.
Yep.
So
I remember you posting something. Was that during the March 14th storms? Yeah. And you said, here we go with everything. I hope everybody's going to be okay.
Right.
Scary.
Yeah. It's very scary, but they were all tagged and everything was fine. And
got to take care of our babies, right? If you're just tuning in, yes, it is Positive Talk Time. And I believe it was Rose that I saw earlier said that she said she went to the public schoolhouse on Saturday and passed Yuppy Puppy. What a beautiful town it is.
It is. Public schoolhouse is fantastic too. They do so many great events and very charming.
Yep. By the way, how I want to give you major props because when we talked with Jessica as they were getting ready for the big St. Patrick's Day festivities, they had in the past people that would try to use their parking lot for everything that they shouldn't have been using it for. But you had said, okay, you want to park in here? Here's the amount. And then it's going to go from a donation standpoint to a wonderful cause. How much money did you raise?
If you can't beat them, join them. That's what we said. We got up early. It was $2,700.
Yes.
Yeah, for our parking
Your
lot.
mama was out there.
Yeah, because we get it. Parking's tight and so many people come to the festivities and but we are open that day for business and we have clients that have to come and go. So we announced that, $30 to park our parking lot and so many people, it really was very organized. And when we said it was, and we had the rescues out there and we're like, the writer says, thank you you just paid for snacks for him, a bag of food. So it ended up being a great day.
So everybody was pleased and a better, See, that's what I was hoping. And we were telling her, we're like, you can up that amount. And what was it? 30?
30. Yeah.
I honestly, I told her I think she could have done 40. People are like, yes, I just want a good parking area. So that just wrapped up. What we are now, of course, getting ready for is Easter. And I just love these pictures. So we pulled a bunch of pictures as we're getting ready with the babies for Easter and Easter egg hunts. If you haven't had an opportunity to go to an Easter egg hunt in the past, you have some coming up, right? Mm-hmm. And this is going to be split up for puppies and dogs?
Yes, because it's a pretty popular event. And so we have one at each location. The O'Fallon location one is first for all dogs. We have a much larger area there. And then an hour later, the Cottleville location for dogs 2 and under.
And so you've been doing this for how long?
Oh gosh, we've been doing an Easter egg hunt for about 15 years. Before we had the buildings, we would hold it at a park. So it just keeps growing and growing.
So for those who have never been to one before and they were like, wait, Easter egg hunt. So I went to one, I don't know how many years ago it was, but I thought it was just going to be all out chaos. It's absolutely hilarious. Some of the dogs are a little apprehensive and they're like, I don't know what to do with this. And there's dogs running everywhere, but tell them how it all works and what's all in those eggs.
Yeah. So you come about 30 minutes before we get everybody's name and dog. We have door prizes too, so you can stay after. We've got golden eggs with some tickets with some special prizes, for some gift certificates, and then it's just a variety of eggs. We do a good job of spreading them out, and it's a great enrichment and day. And yeah, your dog sniffs out the eggs, you put it in the basket, and if you get a golden egg, then you stay after and see what's in the golden egg and do some door prizes. It's just a great day.
So sometimes when these happen, I think some people, they're a little worried because they've got maybe a very introverted dog, right? And then there's these, I mean, it's just like kids.
Yeah.
Or you've got really extroverted animals. You got smaller animals. Do you separate it up in like sizes, things like that?
We don't. It's not in a fenced area. We use our total green space around the buildings, and we've had a great turnout where people can, plenty of room. We say no flexi leashes. Dogs have to be on leash. Kids can come, but we also, it's not a kid Easter egg hunt. So we like to have the kids just walk calmly by the dogs, because we want to make sure all dogs are going to have a great time.
How many would you expect to come out for something like this?
Each year we have about 50 people at each location.
Wow, 50. Okay, so have any of you ever been to one before? I had not, and at this point I've only been to one, and I mean, it was absolutely hilarious. And we've talked about Tessa in the past before. I don't know how it was that back then, and maybe do they change over the years? Because back then she was just all about being with all of them and then sniffing. She didn't care if one was near her. Now her personality seems to change. Do they change over the years?
Oh, absolutely. Just like we
I
changed over the years. Absolutely. Because dogs go from, being puppies, and good and bad. It's just it's environmental and life changes is what molds their personality. But like, I'm not going to a mosh pit anymore these days.
I'll go with you.
I want to eat cheese at home in my pajamas. So I've changed, and just like that, our dogs do too.
It's just funny because a lot of people, when they hear, like, we showed a video when we brought our dogs here to get groomed, and Jessica's like, she's just not having it. I'm like, what has happened to her over the years? I don't know. She got nerve. It's crazy because some people will come over, and I guess you're right. It all depends on who we're around. Mm-hmm. She will be the big goofball she is and throw sticks to me all day long. And then others, all of a sudden, she's like not trusting. But you groomed her before. That's what doesn't make sense to me.
So, but each, the two times were a little different. So the first time you were here, which started off good because you placed her in the tub and all those things, and then she was fine the whole rest of the day. I was able to get her out. The next time it was more of a drop off, and she was okay, but she was, like, this is different. So
it's our fault.
Not your fault. She's just, it's one of those things where we figure out dogs' routines all the time. Like we have a big Irish wolfhound where he will not come in the front door, but if he literally comes in the employee entrance, he's fine. He's great, but he won't come in the front door. So, did he have a bad experience in our front door, in different front doors? Is it the lighting? Is it the flooring? It could be a variety of things. And so it's just our job to figure out what works best.
See these little nuances, right? But it's the same thing with humans. Something from the past might trigger something, or it's just the unknown, or it's just the pattern was different. So if you're just tuning in, Positive Talk Time, we do these every other Thursday. The main thing is, you hear those babies, we want to get them adopted out. She just mentioned that she's got over 30 now. So if you have never had an opportunity to look through, Pet Finder, by the way, is one of the best places for you to go and see these animals that are up for adoption. Who's your longest long-timer?
Mariah right now.
Mariah. We showed you a bunch of them, and go back and watch that show from, was that 2 weeks ago, Jenny? Yes. Yeah. So 2 weeks ago, we shot a bunch of video of all the babies, but now you've got more that you just brought in. Who's some of your newer ones?
We have Delaney, who I'll bring out later. She was a breeder surrender. We've got actually Lennon and Brendan. They were also breeder surrenders. So we're happy to get them. And now they're never going to know the breeding life. And then we have a couple more intakes that we're getting that we were committed to.
I don't think I've ever asked you that. What is the maximum that you can take here?
It all depends on our resources. So if we have the funds for the vet care, because it's our responsibility, no matter, we take each dog as say worst case scenario, they're going to need heartworm treatments, they need spay neuter vaccines. Is this dog going to cost us $5,000 or more? The average cost about $500, and now it's like increasing to $600 with vet prices going up.
Yeah.
So really, we're comfortable around $30, but in emergency situations, if we have the funds, we can say yes.
Good. Yeah, I mean, everything she just mentioned, vet prices, everything in our world seems to be going up. But I have good news for you. Egg prices, if you notice, they're actually going down. They're now like $3 a dozen because these chickens are healthier.
Yeah.
Did you have any, because you've got all these different kind of animals, did you have any problems with yours?
No, my
Good.
chickens were fine and didn't miss a beat, and so I don't even know what egg prices are. Yeah.
So do you do this with your neighbors? Do you have like an overabundance of eggs and say, here, do you want some eggs?
We do, but my dogs get eggs every day.
Oh, that's right.
So
You use them all.
I use them all and bake and then give them to family or sell whatever I have left over. But we've got about 35 chickens, and that has kept us fully stocked.
She's like, buying eggs. What was that like? More and more people, by the way, have you all thought about this? Have thought about getting their own chickens, and it makes sense. I have to give a shout out to Rob and Carol, our neighbors. I think I've said this before. We will come home and I'll get a text that says, there's eggs in your mailbox. And I'm like, I love it. Yeah, I know it is the best thing, isn't it? All right, it is 7:27. We're going to take our first quick break. We've got a few more things to be talking about today. You are starting to get donations for the gala, right? Yep. We'll talk about the gala coming up in the fall. We'll also talk about an event coming up in Lake St. Louis. Both Jessica and myself shared it on our page, and you might want to start gathering some people to try to, she said, and I said, both of us were in agreement. In the state of Missouri, I can't believe all these pet stores that are still allowed to be out there. We ask you to adopt right here from Yuppy Puppies Forever Rescue. There is not a reason to shop, folks. I am not, again, shaming you if that's what you've done, but I'm trying to break that because sometimes that's all you've grown up with. That's all you ever knew, right?
It's just education.
Yep.
I find that a lot of people, generational too, that they don't realize the ugly backstory of where that dog in the window came from. And that's what it's all about, is if you can get through to somebody and just acknowledge and explain kind of why, what the ugly side is, then it can spread and make a difference.
Yeah, education. We talk a lot about having fun together, laughing together, crying together, educating you, and that's what it's really about. So we're going to do a little education for you that maybe never knew the ugly backstory. We'll talk about that. And then, did you and Jenny come up with some trends?
We did.
Or they're going to still work on this for me. So there's trends that Jessica says are maybe good for us to do. And then there's others that we should not be doing. So we'll have more. Any questions? We'll look at your comments as well as we do our positive talk time here at Yuppy Puppies Forever Rescue in Cottleville.
I just want to say I had an absolutely amazing time getting together with you and talking about how everybody can make a day just a little bit better than it was yesterday. You're doing tremendous things. I just love the spirit in which you want to help those around you and help your community. You've always been like that. What a great time. What a great show. I love our fellowship. I look forward to doing more with you in the future and checking out a few of these churches and seeing where our paths are going to cross and what kind of fun and entertainment and love we can bring to the table. I love this, and I think you're doing a killer job, so love you.
This is my wonderful role model, one of my best friends.
She said, oh my gosh, you got a long life. You could probably live to be 130 or something. And I said, oh God, I hope not.
It's getting hot in here. Don't take off all your clothes.
I'm not going to take off my clothes. On the radio tape, going to
Kansas City, Kansas City, here I come. We're gonna speak. We're not gonna spank anybody. We're gonna speak about knowing your value, and then I'm gonna.
know their value. I'm going to spank them.
If you don't know your value and you don't grab hold of how important you are, I'm going to spank you. Folks, you never know what you're going to get with her. Welcome back. And if you are just tuning in and maybe you've never seen where they're located, there are 2 locations for you on the screen right there. Yuppy Puppy Pet Spa in Cottleville, also in O'Fallon in the Missouri area. And did you know that they got cooler than cool? They are the coolest place on the planet, by the way. For people who are brand new to this segment, let's go back to that. I was talking to my husband about it yesterday. He's like, what? And I said, yeah, like the coolest. What was that, 2021?
Yeah, 2021. That's, to me, that is like my Grammy and Oscar
Yes.
and everything, because we were voted for coolest pet place in America is the award. So out of every pet, daycare, grooming, boarding shop, we were voted on by the top industry professionals. They came out and toured, and we were in the running, and then I got the call that we were number 1. And so that's amazing.
All of you in the back, clap. No, it really is. And it was worth noting that a lot of you may not have known that. So yeah, give them major props, because we're talking about all over. Like, we're not saying St. Louis, we're saying coolest in the planet. That was absolutely amazing. 2021. And I'm just going to say it happens every year. It should happen every year because it is the coolest place. If you've never been here, you need to come in. Just come in and maybe get, Jenny just said it's the bougiest place on the planet. No, seriously, you need to come in, even if you just want to come in and grab a treat for your dogs and then start to say, okay, well, let me see all the services that they provide here. This is the place that you will absolutely fall in love with. So Positive Talk Time, it's a segment that we do. We've been doing for over a year now, every other Thursday. Lisa said she rescued her dog from a breeder. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Jenny just said she was just telling Jessica the story about her own. Yes. Congratulations. Clap, clap, clap. Amazing. Everybody's saying to you. So for those that don't understand the backstory, and also something that's coming up. So if you look on my Facebook page, or if you look, Jessica, was it on yours or on the Yuppy Puppy page that you shared
Yuppy
that?
Puppies
It was
page.
on Yuppy Puppies. So make sure that you follow Yuppy Puppies Forever Rescue and Yuppy Puppy Pet Spa on Facebook. And then you can always see the babies that are up for adoption, all the cool things they're doing. Jenny dropped in the information about the Easter egg hunt for you for puppies and dogs, but it's also education that they'll put out there. So she and I both shared this. There's something coming up in Lake St. Louis this weekend.
Mm-hmm. It's by the St. Louis Animal Allegiant Agency. It's START, and it's a peaceful protest at the Lake St. Louis Petland, because Missouri is one of the last states left that still even has puppy stores. That these dogs it's a brokerage. They're shipped from all over. It's treated like warehouse, like a product where these dogs get in. So when you buy that dog in the window, they have numerous dogs in the back and more coming. And so, and even when you just stop in and buy food there and, fish supplies, it's supporting puppy mills.
And there was something that was shocking to me when I was first reading that. I was like, what does that say? It said something about in a female dog's life that she could go through, 10 different pregnancies and 160 dogs.
And that's an average litter. That's not, dogs that sometimes have a 16 pup litter. It all varies, but they're bred from their first heat cycle, which is dangerous, at 6 months old or younger, and then till they can't breed anymore. And it's heartbreaking.
It is. And I don't understand the mentality. I think that's what I get so furious. Jessica heard me say it, and because I got mad, I'm like, I just want to punch him in the face. A violent side came out of me, but it makes me mad. And how can it not make all of you? Because I want you to transfer that mentality to a human being. Would you put a woman through this over and over and over and over again? And so, okay, here's a bunch of babies. I don't care. Do it again. We're going to make you do it again over and over. And you can see the exhaustion in them.
Yeah.
You can see what it does on the toll it takes on their bodies.
It's horrible. And it's almost like somebody who was kidnapped and lived, when you see those stories and they're in a basement and they're brainwashed. Yep. That's how these dogs are. I've seen them look at the sky and they don't know what the different textures are on the floor and different sights and sounds. And they're hard to get adopted because they take a really patient person that is understanding of their backstory and knows that everything is scary to them. So they're not acting out they're truly terrified. And I'm all about solutions and positive,
yes,
and so are
yes.
you. And so what so many other stores, because we're no one's in the business to take anyone's livelihood or business away, but so many other states have turned their puppy mill stores like a Petland into working with rescues and filling those rooms with
Well, there you go.
rescues, having adoption days. So they still have their pet supply store, but now they are, there's always unfortunately going to be unwanted litters. There's going to be puppies in there, but instead of having purchase that were brought there for demand for purchase in an unethical way, filling those rooms with rescue dogs.
Right. So again, why don't we take a cue from other states, see what they're doing, and then start implementing that? Absolutely. We're not trying to shame. And sometimes it is uneducated. And it's, oh, I didn't realize. And so for all of you, and I mentioned this before, we're not shaming you if you have purchased a dog before. What we're hoping is that you suddenly get the aha and go, oh, wow, I didn't realize that's what I was supporting out there. Because I think, don't you realize that that's what it is?
We hear a lot of people, I know I bought this dog from Petland, but he was just sitting there and he's so cute and I wanted to help him. But what they don't understand is if that dog ages out, if it gets too big, too old. We had just rescued a Aussie Doodle. Same thing. She was now 7 months old. The breeder didn't want her anymore because she was too old.
Wow.
And so that's what will happen. And if that continues to happen, then the rescues take them, we spay them, we get them vaccinated. And if enough of that happens, they stop selling that breed. Then we work on another breed and all of that.
Again, if you're just tuning in, see the babies are like, yes, preach, Jessica. Jenny just said, we love you. Thanks for all you do for these sweet babies. Oh my gosh, the sweetest woman of all, Diane Isbell, just said, I would like to punch them too. Yeah. Oh, I love it. We've riled up Diane. They are terrible people. Again, we're not trying to shame, but it's just, how do you not know something is wrong with that? So you just mentioned something. Oh, I just got to chill. If you have to rescue these babies, these moms that have been put through this over and over and over again, just how traumatic and how hard and long is it before you can get, one, for them to trust, and two, for them to get ready to be adopted out to trust somebody else?
It depends. They're all different. Some for the life, they get manageable, they get used to things, but they're always going to be a little off. Yeah. Dogs like Delaney that I'll bring out, she was young enough, but she was skin and bones. She had all kinds of infections. At 2 years old, she had horrible dental disease because she was probably eating who knows what. And, but she came out as one of those, I made it, I broke free. She's fantastic. So it just depends. Some take longer, and then some like Delaney, you're like, thank God.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for getting me away from this. Good morning to all of you that are signing on. Diane said she is small but mighty. Yeah. You're probably like my mother. You do not want to wrong these beautiful ladies. Okay. It's 7:40. We've got a handful of things, including meeting Delaney, coming up for you. You had mentioned right before I went on the air about this really cool new vet place that, if you think about having to take your babies in and there's something traumatic, right? It's like taking anyone that you love to a hospital and you want to be there with them. So what is this and where are they?
Yep. It's called Veg. It's in the old Pier 1 building on Mid Rivers Drive.
Okay.
And they open May 15th. And when I seen the sign that they were coming, I already had known about Veg. They have over 100 locations across the country. And when I seen they were coming there, I was ecstatic. It's a vet hospital like no other. So it's emergency care. You stay with your dog. They have beds, futons. So, sometimes when dogs have that special bond with you and you have to leave them and they're like, they can't come home till they eat or they're whatever. So it makes a huge difference if the owners are there working with them. Yeah. And so I love that you can stay with your dog. Yeah. It's also almost like a dog 911. You can call them and ask advice. Like if your, your dog ate half a chocolate bar, they're going to say, well, how much do you think your dog weighs? It's not, you don't need to come in. This is what I suggest. Follow up with your vet. So just a wealth of knowledge, and we're excited.
Veg, and it's the first in our area, right?
Yeah.
May 15th?
May 15th, and we will be there with our rescues to help them with the grand opening.
By the way, I'm glad you just said that. So I need to hook you up with Hoffman Hillerman Nursery in Washington, Missouri, because they said that they've had in the past where they welcome to have a rescue come out, showcase their dogs, maybe as people are shopping and, looking at their nursery stuff, whatever else, that they'll be able to see these babies that are available. And they didn't know about you, they said, oh, wait a minute. Well, we'll see if she wants to come out here. So we'll hook you guys up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, they're not going to adopt them out that day because they need to make sure that you're a good fit, but at least it could draw more people. And that's what we're about. So share like crazy, all of these positive talk times that we do. We're going to meet Delaney in just a second. But before we do that, so the two of you and Jenny's here, Jenny Egan, who's dropping in a bunch of information for you. She moderates for us and does a lot of other things for our team. The two of you were talking about some trends that we should do and shouldn't do. So if you've ever self-washed your dog and then you go to blow dry them, normally, just kind of like a vacuum cleaner, they don't normally like blow dryers. Did you say that there are people that are teasing them with the blow dryer on purpose? Did you say groomers?
Yeah. And it's one of those when, sometimes when you're scrolling on social, you're like, oh, don't do that. Like,
No.
Oh, no. So it was all started in fun. And you do have some dogs where they're just goofy. They want to air bite the dryer. Well, it was a trend that was going to an Eminem song where, just lose it. And the groomer would blow dry herself because that's what we do to get all the hair off. And then she would face it on the dog. And, the dog's like, rah, 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 like going crazy. And that's just not, that is so a setback of what you would do.
Isn't it breaking trust?
It's breaking trust. It's you never would aim the force dryer at the dog's face for the nostrils and the eyes. You would never do this. So when I seen that, I'm like, oh my gosh, so many people that aren't groomers are going to think either, oh, this is so funny, look at it, and it's not, or, oh my gosh, that's why I don't take my dog to a groomer. And it's like, that's not what we do.
No, please stop that. Is this something on TikTok right now? Of course it is. What's up with TikTok trends? It's just so frustrating. So why, by the way, do they not like it? Is it just irritating to them? Or it's scary to them? Or what happens when you are putting the blow dryer in their face?
It's sights and sounds. So how a lot of our dogs, like we say, when they start at a young age, most of the dogs then will be fine. They know it's routine. We talked about how, okay, this happened, it was fine. If your dog has never been to the groomers, it's older, and you put a blow dryer on them, they might be like, whatever. This? So, but you always start, we have things, sometimes it's the noise because it can be loud. It's called a happy hoodie. You put it on their ears. We use that a lot. And then dogs who normally couldn't be blow dried, it's kind of like a hug just around their ears. But you also always start way far out. So it just starts as a gentle blow, like almost like a fan. And then you would start going all over and then getting,
get them
closer.
Introduced to it, right?
Absolutely. So it's a process. And most of the time, I mean, every day, 99% of our dogs are used with the force dryer, but it's how you do it that makes a huge difference.
If you've never had your dog groomed before, again, bring them here, introduce them the right way. I've seen those, and obviously I've taken my dogs to groomers over the years, and I was like, okay, when I'm washing them at home, I know they don't like getting water in their ears. Can we buy those things? And yes.
Oh yeah.
What are they called?
They're on Amazon. Happy hoodie.
Happy hoodie.
Happy hoodie.
Jenny, drop it in the comments for me. I need a happy hoodie.
And I'm so old that before happy hoodies was a thing, it's one of those things you're like, dang, why didn't we invent that?
Exactly.
We used to cut T-shirts halfway around and put them over the dog's face. So, and then somebody came out and made a cool sweatband for a dog's head.
Smart.
Probably made so much money.
Oh yeah, they've already retired.
Groomers been doing it for years.
It's a 20-year-old, you know that. Yeah. Oh yeah, hey, why didn't these old folks think about this? Instead, I've not ever put anything over. I just try to hide their ears while I'm putting water and trying to get it not in their eyes. Yeah, it's frustrating. Let's see. Hats by Diane. Yep. She said small but mighty. Okay. So Dude's Playground said, it makes me happy that you make sure the dog is a good fit with the human before they actually adopt the human. That's where she differs. And that was one of the things I was just telling Jenny before we went on the air. And I was like, no. She will not just adopt. You can't just walk in here and say, I'll take that dog and leave, because she doesn't want it returned. And that is why they go that extra step, Richard.
Yeah. And there was somebody who had made a comment that said, your dogs need homes, and sometimes a home is just good enough. Well, that's not, I consider all these dogs my own dog, and I
Yes.
would not want my dog just to go to a good
Any home.
enough home
Yep.
because they already came from maybe just a good enough home or
Right.
situation. So they don't run out of time with me. And I do feel that if it's the right fit, I've seen it thousands of times that when you zing with a dog, they'll do whatever. And that's all we ask. We ask for you to come and meet with the trainer, meet with us, make sure all expectations are clear. And it's not just about, that dog's cute, I want it,
Right.
and it being a good enough home. So yeah, it's got to be that perfect home.
Again, and I know that we try not to say the word perfect, but it is, what is the best fit for them? That's where she differs. And was that your motto from day one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It was always about, because our motto here for Yuppy Puppy is we treat the dogs like they are ours until the owner comes back. And same thing, all these dogs have my last name on them, and I consider them my dog. And if I had to rehome my dog, is how I consider my rescue. I am finding them, setting them up for success. So yeah, it's not. My home's not even perfect for all the dogs, but it's one of those, but I would do whatever it takes to make sure that they're set up for success. I'm never going to let them down. I'm going to do whatever it takes if, when the going gets tough or financially and that's what it's all about, is finding somebody who is dedicated.
Oh, that's a good word. Dedicated, for sure. So besides the trend of the blow dryer, what's the other one? Barking at them.
So this one's kind of an old one. And when it first came out, I was like, oh gosh. And now it's been around so long, you can find the bloopers, or not bloopers, the ones that went wrong, because there's been so many trainings. So people will sit next to their dog, like really close, like us, and they bark really loud, making eye contact at their dog. And a lot of the dogs, you see them, they go wide-eyed, they're looking, and some people are getting bit in the face, and dogs get nervous, and so it's teaching a really bad behavior, and can go, so and it's on social, so you don't want kids thinking that that's funny, that you're going up to the dogs and barking at their face, making
Wait, is it their own dogs or any dogs?
It's their own dog, but it's just
stupid.
It's just stupid.
Okay, again, now some people might think that you're having a communication with them because that's how they communicate with you, but no, we need to do our communication that we speak.
I'm really big on, dogs barking and whine. Any animal, they have noises, like horses whinny and all the kind. So we don't speak dog. And so maybe you just told your dog to go F off. Yeah.
And it says, oh yeah.
Yeah, it says, and it's a battle. And so a lot of them, what I've noticed is the dogs will get really stiff and they start to lick the owner's face, which is a sign that dogs do to other dogs when they're telling them to calm down, and can be a nervous licking, which ends badly. Yeah. And so people are like, oh, they're giving me kisses after I bucked in their face. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Wait to see what's coming.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me ask this, because I have a video that I put out there, and it's not the barking aspect, but when Opus found his voice, he would howl, like when we would walk in the door, and then I howl back with him, and I'm going back and forth. Is that bad?
It depends. Like some people will teach roo-roo or speak. If you're giving the command, or like that's what you're doing and then following up, done in a very relaxed way. Okay. That's more of a trick or something. But yeah, if you walked up to Tessa and just made straight eye contact and barked in her face,
She'd probably bite
yeah.
Yeah. She'd be like, oh yeah, F you.
Yeah, right. We doing that now? Yeah.
I'm going to watch me, Mom. I'm stronger than you.
Yeah.
No, this was, we thought it was cute that Opus finally found his voice, because he's been so timid and shy after being abused, and we rescued him. But he was like, oh, woo, woo. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, woo, woo. And he did it like 5 or 6 times. It was the cutest thing.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's okay. Yeah. Because you're not in his face. No. Your body language was probably excitement. Yeah. Yay.
So are they doing like vicious loud barks?
Yes.
How stupid are you? Yeah. Okay, wait. Julie just said, question. Do dogs know something if they get older and you bring another dog in the house that's younger? What does your dog think?
So you have an older dog and then
and
you
bring
bring
a younger one in.
It depends.
Like, are you asking Julie, do they think they're being replaced, or are they
Yeah.
thinking that you want a younger one?
Yeah, or like how do they get along? I don't think that they're getting replaced at all because dogs just don't think like that.
Good.
Actually, I've seen older dogs come more alive, act more puppy because they feel like,
I gotta keep up with
they
this
gotta
kid.
keep up with the puppy. A common misconception though is, oh, my dog doesn't like dogs, but I'm going to get a puppy. And that's dangerous. A lot of people will think that, oh, they won't hurt a puppy. They know it's just a puppy. And that can't be,
No.
that's not a good idea sometimes.
Oh, she said yes to that. This bodes a good question for me because I'm still trying to get the pack to happen. I think Tessa and Adelaide are just so used to being big goofballs. They'll wrestle with each other. Sometimes I have to watch it because Tessa will like stand over the top of her and then push at her. Those are all okay. I mean, they play, they're still wagging the tail, but they are not playing with Opus. Is it because he's so very different from them and they just like walk by him like, and I don't like the fact that they'll go over, I'll try to give him a treat. He's not treat motivated. They'll go over and I think there should be a boundary aspect, but they'll just go over and they'll grab it right off of his bed. And I'm like, that's rude. And then they go over and if he's left his food for a while, they'll go to try to eat his food. And I have to constantly listen like, oh my God, they're in his food. And then I'll pick it up. But will they ever get along?
Well, they are getting along because avoidance and giving each other space is something we look for. So a lot of times, if we do meet and greets with other dogs and they could care less that the other one's in there, but they're walking by, dogs know that they know another dog is in there. They're not focused on that. And that's actually really good behavior because if Opus wanted to engage, then maybe they would engage. They're just giving him space.
That's what he's asking for. So I guess that's true because we will take them for a walk. He still will be like, make a little noise, but then he'll go with them. I think he likes Adelaide because she's small like him. And I think if Adelaide interacted with him more, I have a feeling he would play with her. Because when he first came into the house, maybe 2-3 weeks in, he got up, put his butt up in the air, went down to his paws, and she ran around with him for a little bit, but she doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah. And that was just a proper introduction. That was like, hey, you're cool. All right. See you later. Where's my bed?
God, that dog has got to get out of his bed. Rich, Monica, we do the same thing with the dude. When we get home, the dude howls and we howl back at it. It's just a great big howling session. Yes, it's fun. We're not doing like vicious things to them. Anybody else have any questions or comments? And if there's any topics, by the way, that you would like on a future Positive Talk Time, let us know. We love your interaction with this. Any other trends you saw out there that you want us to do?
Yeah. So some of the trends you can do, like I love the ones where it's like the party trick or the magician where they're hiding the treat under several different, and point. That gets their brain. That's fantastic. Yeah. That is, letting them. It's focus, it's scent work. So all of those things are great. Hiding things too, or saying, where is this, and hiding their favorite toy, or even, when dogs are, where's your Lammy? Where is your ball? Where is this? All those things are an enrichment. So,
and how the heck do they know? Well, we think they know colors. Like you could ask them to go get a blue one, or I say get rubber stick because we've got a toy that looks like a stick, and Tessa likes her sticks, so we'll go stick, and she'll be like, okay, and she runs and gets the stick. Or you say ball or yellow ball. No, the yellow one.
Yeah.
God, they're smart.
They are smart, and it's a reward. So if she has that in her mouth, you're calling that. You're petting her. You're throwing it. You're bringing it back, and you just keep saying. You could just say. Banana, where's your banana? But the whole time that object is, whatever she calls it is during this time, they remember, okay, I like when she said, go get that banana when we played with this banana. So yeah, they're smart and pick up on things, and it's all reward based, and we don't realize, we are all trainers, and it's just how you're doing it.
Are you a good trainer? Or are you a bad trainer? Do you need to have them trained? Kennedy's the best, is she not? I just love all the videos that they drop in. So again, do me a favor, follow Yuppy Puppies Forever Rescue on social, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok are your best ones, right?
Yep.
Okay, so there, and then also Yuppy Puppy Pet Spa, Cottleville and O'Fallon. Okay, we're going to take a break. We're going to get introduced to Delaney.
Yep, I'll go grab Delaney.
Delaney is how old?
She's 2.
She's 2, and what is she?
She's Jack Russell.
Oh, Jack Russell. Okay. She is adorable. We're going to have that. And then if there's any other comments or questions that you have, and then we are also going to talk about the upcoming fall gala, and they are accepting some donations already. We'll see how that's all going along. Don't go anywhere. More of Positive Talk Time when we return.
Well, hello, my friends. My name is John O'Leary. I was just on the Real Monica Adams show, and it was an amazing experience for me and hopefully for the viewers and listeners as well. What I found sitting down with Monica is the idea of being real is maybe something we use for social media or website or to separate us from others, but it may not be something you experience very often in the real world. Today, Monica was extraordinarily real, not only with me, but with our viewers and our listeners. And through her authenticity and through her honesty and vulnerability, I followed. It was an incredible conversation. We were real about struggle, real about life, real about endurance, real about family, real about faith, and real about the truth that the foundation is firm, that God is still God, that there's reason for hope, and that the best is yet to come. So for those of us who occasionally struggle with being real or being filled with hope or being renewed in a season of struggle, I can't tell Monica and her viewers, listeners, and producers thank you enough for allowing me to be real during the hour together. So for this time, and until next time, my name is John O'Leary. Today is your day. What a gift it is. Live inspired and stay real.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out to Incarnate Word as well as Care STL. They have me doing their gala coming up. And then, of course, I will be auctioneering and emceeing the gala coming up for Yuppy Puppy as well, Yuppy Puppies Forever Rescue, because we want to adopt all these babies out. Am I okay?
Oh yeah, she's the sweetest thing.
Delaney, 2-year-old Jack Russell mix or
Yeah.
Jack, or
Yeah.
we never say that they're pure.
Yeah,
She's is everything okay? Hi,
Say,
honey.
this is her vibe.
Oh, she's going to turn it off. I always like when the dogs turn the mics off. You want to talk? What do you want to say? So tell all of them that you are unbelievably sweet. That's right. Right here. Look right there. There you go. Right. Exactly. She said, I need to, and I will give you all the kisses and love in the world. Oh, you're so sweet. How long have you had Delaney?
We've had her for about a month. We got her spayed and all checked out. And this is her vibe. She's like an
Chill?
old soul. She's chill, but she's fun and happy. She's loving all her toys. She gets along with, she lived in an area with a whole bunch of dogs of all different shapes and sizes. So all dogs here have been, she thinks everybody's her friend. And
She does. She is an old soul. I mean,
Yeah.
to be 2, we've seen incredible energy when Dumpling came running in here.
Yes,
Was
yes.
Dumpling's what, 7 months old now?
Yeah,
8? Yeah.
yeah.
So some of them are crazy young acting, but yeah, she looks like I'm just an old soul. I'm just an old girl and love. And so she's good with all dogs.
Yes, good with all dogs. We do have her as kid approved because she's just super gentle and has been fantastic. So she would be a great addition to a variety of homes.
Has she had any interest?
No
What?
interest.
She's just a sweetheart.
I know.
Look at you. Oh, she said, tell them,
Thank
Mom.
you.
So they all have Jessica's last name until they get your last name.
Yes.
So Delaney has been here about a month. And again, if you're interested in Delaney, the area where you go is on to the Pet Finder page. Do not, we've said this every time, don't call Yuppy Puppy Pet Spa in Cuddleville because that's a separate entity. That's for the grooming and the boarding, etc. If you're interested in adopting, then there is actually on your page, I saw something that, can they do like a scanning of a QR code and do like an application online,
yeah,
right?
we've got Google form, application, or it can be submitted right through Pet Finder. So either one.
You kisses? Can I have a kiss? Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. So, as far as personality, besides being so chill, as she gets to know you, what else comes out in her personality?
She does come more alive. Like, so she came here, and she wasn't, scared or hiding. She was just you could see her absorbing and soaking everything, taking it in, but in a good way. And we plumped her up a bit because she was so skinny. So she's got a little bit more to go, but she's been great for everything. And she's one most likely had never had a bath or a spa day, and like the blow dryer doesn't bother her. So it depends on each dog and how you're handling it. And
this is what happens. Jessica introduces us to all these dogs, and she and I were texting the other day, and I said, how is Dumpling still there? You know I love my Shiba Inus. And she goes, I know. And then Jenny loves Swiss, and Swiss is still here. And now we've got Delaney. All of these dogs, I'm like, I wish I could have Dumpling. And Jenny said, I wish I could have Swiss, but Swiss has to be an only dog. Jenny's response, what? She wants somebody to adopt Swiss so that she can come and visit. So Jessica and I both said that absolutely 100%. We would love to take them all. She's like, I wish I could take them all home.
I really do. Like, and she, I know, would fit in right fine with my pack. So I could have a 7, but it's
I could have a 7.
I could have a 7.
Dave? What?
Yeah.
Another? So I know Jen just said adorable. So we need you all right now. I'm going to show her even a little bit more. Look right here at the camera. Okay. Just tell them something to get you adopted. What is it? I'm the most gentle soul ever, she said. She wants to be with your home. So if you are a good fit, you can do the application. You can come in. You can do a private meet and greet, or when is your next meet and greet?
It's today.
Oh, today.
From 12 to 5. And we're like, we can't have another shutout with no one.
No.
Like, come spend some time with the dogs.
How about Delaney or Swiss or Dumpling or Riley or any of them, that's been here for a long time. Mariah, who's been here for a while. I know, Stephanie, she is cute. So what you need to do is take this and maybe tell them right at an hour into the show to look at this gorgeous dog. And is it something that you know a friend or a family member that could adopt her out? Come to the meet and greet today if you can, 12 to 5 right here at Yuppy Puppies Forever Rescue, Yuppy Puppy Pet Spa in Cottleville. Michelle, yes, the answer is yes. I am auctioneering this year's Yuppy Puppy Gala. And so as we talk about galas, in just a second, we'll see how you might be able to adopt. You might be able to donate. You might be able to volunteer some aspect. Stephanie said, my neighbors have cats. We all share the dryer. If they use the dryer before me, I am allergic to cats. Will they amp up my allergies?
What will amp up?
Probably the fact that it's being used by a lot of different people.
Well, yeah, the dryer so we use it because it's such a great tool. It gets the dander away from the skin. So definitely the dryer should be wiped down every day or in between the cats up for the dog.
It's kind of like the same thing. You have people that go into a home and clean houses and they're like, I don't want to bring that. I just cleaned this person's house. I'm going to clean this out. I'm not going to bring all of their stuff into your home.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. It should be definitely wiped down in between.
How is this dog so chill when she's 2 years old? Well, that was what I was going to say, because I expected her to come darting in here only because we know particular breeds and we think Jack Russell Terrier is going to be jump, not her.
And that's typical. And no, that's not her. And her personality can change more as she gets more comfortable in a home, but it could not. So yeah, there's always the exception. Just like Dumpling for
Jen, you missed all the kisses. Look at her.
Just so like Dumpling is a very affectionate Shiba Inu. So there's always exceptions to the rule.
Hey, sweetie. All right. So if it is the dog for you, then come and check out today, 12 to 5, the meet and greet. Or if you can't come today, then maybe you set up a private meet and greet, because she is just absolutely amazing. And we always say that there are some dogs out there that just feel like the perfect dog. can get along with all dogs, can be completely chill, or come out of her shell a little bit and start to give you some energy. I don't know. If this isn't the dog for you, then share that with someone, because if they love Jack Russell Terriers, but they wanted a little bit more chill.
She's unicorn status,
You
we call
are.
that. When they get along with dogs, kids, and pretty much everything else, that's a lot to ask of any dog, and she meets that criteria.
Can I have one more kiss? One more. Oh, enough kisses, lady. Okay, so there are so many dogs that we want to get adopted out. I don't want to see her still here once the gala comes around. So the gala is in November.
Yep, November.
And you're starting to get some donations already?
Yeah, so we're asking for, we're going to be, if anyone wants to be a corporate sponsor, to email the rescue. We've got the bar and just signage to help us with that evening. You get a table included with that. So we're looking for, we're accepting corporate sponsors, and we normally do that until about middle of August.
Okay.
And then all donations for the raffles, if they're a business that wants to feature something, a product or a gift certificate, we're starting to collect items to make those baskets.
And again, they had an incredible silent auction last year, a wonderful live auction as well. Raised a lot of big money. When do tickets go on sale for that?
Tickets will probably go on sale in August.
In August?
Yep. Once all the corporate sponsors are done and the signage, then we'll open that up.
Okay, we're looking forward to it. Our team will be there helping to raise some big money for these babies. And are you going to like prance them around again like we did last year?
Yeah, the dogs are there during cocktail hour, of course. And so
I don't want you there. I want you to
they're
be adopted.
all adopted, except it's always heartbreaking when we have dogs at the gala and then one is still there. So Church was the one that he's still here from the last gala. So we got to get Church adopted.
Yes. Again, they've got over 30 dogs available for adoption right now, and it's just cyclical because as those babies go out, it makes room for some more. It's just this evil cycle. But that's why we have people like Jessica and her staff here. Somebody did ask if you ever need volunteers, and it's for certain dogs.
Yeah, so we have approved outing dogs, we call it. Like Delaney would be an approved outing dog. So they have to come and do about an hour of meeting with our trainers for volunteer on how to handle and what to do. And then we have approved locations that they can go to, or you can just come here and walk up and down Caldwell with the dog.
Yeah. Jenny is all about Swiss. She said, can I please take Swiss? Swiss is not approved. I was going to say, Swiss is not approved. You are not going to have that happen. All right, everyone. Again, so if you are interested in adopting a dog, check out Yuppy Puppies Forever Rescue. Maybe it's this beautiful Delaney, or find the one that will fit with you. Again, take the education that we gave you today, take the laughter, take the humor, take all of that with you, and have a little positivity in your life. The event that's in Lake St. Louis, do you remember, is it Saturday?
Yes, it's Saturday.
What time do you know?
I don't know.
Well, we shared it. Look at our pages.
Share it. And then they have, that group is also then going to Springfield to speak and do some legislature down there the following week too. It's a great organization to spread awareness.
Yeah, being the voice for those that are voiceless. Everybody, thank you so much. Wonderful show as always. We will be back with Jessica in a couple of weeks. Again, if there's anything that's going on in the world that has to do with dogs, or anything that you are interested that has to do with your own babies at home, just let us know, and then we will showcase another one of the babies that are up for adoption coming up in a couple of weeks. Thank you for letting us show you. Get this baby adopted. Jessica, thank you as well. And to all of you, remember, the greatest thing you can do is not only show kindness to each other, but do that with your babies as well. Have a beautiful day. God bless.